Hey y'all, come look at this.
Gibby, wibby. I pull up in a.
And I say, what's up, Goblin Nation? It's Gibrian, or should I say, Gib Gabbler the Op Stopper, Gibby Wibby, Edge Gobbler, Gib Gobbler the Gob Giver, Gilliberate, Glibian or Gliberant, Nut Gobbler, Gibron James, Uncle Yaprian, Gib Whopper, Gib the Burger King employee, or William. Let me know which of those you guys like the best. Where are my manners? I forgot to introduce today's video. Today we got more spicy RELL ideas. If this is your first time, then welcome, and try not to vomit and cry uncontrollably when you see some of these ideas. But don't worry, it's not all bad. Some of these are certified delicious by the chefs on our team. Oh, and don't forget to comment your own ideas for a chance to be featured, and join the Discord if you're looking for a crew to play with. Don't worry, everyone is friendly. I ban them if they're not. As always, buckle in because delicious times are ahead of you. Alright, let's start in the comments section, and the first idea says we should add space travel. I mean, technically it has happened in One Piece, but you know. But for now I'm gonna play it safe and say I disagree with this one. Even though it has 3 likes. Interesting. And where would we be without the classic Black Blade suggestion that's under every video or, you know, every suggestion channel? They're always a little different, but in this one he says using Haki would give you a small chance, so the more you use Haki, the more your odds of getting a Black Blade would go up. Now, I don't like the randomness. I feel like getting a Black Blade is more mastery, so I kind of would prefer it if there was just like a bar that you couldn't see that slowly built up when you use one sword a lot, you know? Now, this next suggestion is that if you unlock Gear 5, which, you know, won't be in the game at release, but still, when you unlock Gear 5, you get a mount that is a floating cloud, kind of like the way he kind of sits there in the cloud when he's doing his iconic pose. The idea is not bad, but he doesn't really sit on a cloud. But, I mean, unless you count the thing around his neck, you know, like the smoke. Oh, and here's another classic suggestion I see everywhere, that they should add Davy back fights. I still don't know how they would do this, but it's funny nonetheless. Oh, and here's an idea I actually really like, is adding a comm belt to the part of the sea. In the show, this is where like a bunch of sea beasts spawn because there's no waves or anything, and that's where they lay their nest. I think this could work really well as an endgame area, or maybe it's like the edges of the map, and it'd be like a cool place to farm materials and just fight like constantly. And you know, it's one of those things where you see how long you could last. I feel like that could be really fun if you're high level. Oh, and here we have Ada back with some more AI generated designs for weapons. Last time it was like enemy types, and this time it's weapons, so let me know if you like any of these. So first up we have a dagger. It has a red gem in the handle, so maybe it's like got like a fire enchantment or something. Next up we got a couple bone looking pistols. I actually really like these. They seem very like One Piece because of how wacky they are, and the idea of a bone gun is pretty cool. The one on the right almost looks like it's a Zoan. You know how you can feed Zoans fruits to certain weapons? So this one's just called Sword, but it kind of reminds me of those mines you'd see floating in the water where it's got like the little spikes coming out. Let me know what you guys think. And last we have a greatsword. This one seems very Celtic, you know, with like the runes on it. Honestly, I think a lot of these would work really well as skins. I don't know if they'd end up modeling the weapons after like, you know, unique ideas like this. And here we have another idea for how we get Conqueror's Haki. People have been speculating how you unlock it because it seems very difficult to do, or I guess balance properly. And in this one, they basically make it so it's a daily quest you can do, and if you fail it, you get locked out until the next day. I actually like the idea of this a lot because it's got that RNG factor. It's still earnable, which is nice, but you're not completely screwed if you mess up, you know, or if you just get unlucky, you can just try it again the next day. And next we have the. Now this one's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, you gotta be dumb not to get it. But interestingly, this isn't just an idea, it's also a theory or a detail we missed. Now, I don't know if everyone here saw the sneak. I'm sure you guys did if you're watching a video on suggestions. But basically they showed how Shave would work, which is like a short-range teleport, or I guess a dash. And the way they showed it, it leaves behind after images. This is probably a balancing thing, but in this suggestion, they basically say they don't like how it is, and they would like it if they, you know, they tweaked it. Now, hear me out, guys, because I kind of cooked in the Discord the other day, right? What if it was just like an instant teleport with no after images, unless you had good observation Haki, and then you could see the after images to help you track them? Now, this would be a cool visual thing, but also it would add more importance to observation instead of just making your screen blue and giving you auto dodges like every game does. Okay, this suggestion is called Combat Quirks, and it's like 4 little details. The bottom 2 are basically just battle damage, so when you're hurt, it'll show a little bit more. The second one is that fighting in a crowded area would make NPCs run away. This would add a lot of realism and immersion to the game, which is cool. And the first one is that if you're weak, then like heavier attacks will send you flying further. So, you know, to kind of show that you're weak and can't stand yourself up up. I actually like these ideas, and unlike some suggestions, I don't think they'd be that hard to add. Speaking of suggestions that would be very hard to add, this guy wants basically every item or weapon to be able to eat a devil fruit and then become completely unique. So we see this suggestion a lot where people want, you know, weapons to be able to eat devil fruit because it happens in the show a couple times. I actually have an interesting idea for it. Maybe like if it ate like a Logia, it would just get the M1s. Since we know like if you ate the flame fruit, you'd get flame punches. What if it just gave flame effect to your sword? Enchants already kind of do this, but maybe it'd be a stronger and more visual version. That's just my idea. Anyways, the reason I bring up this suggestion is because someone in the comments actually told him that they confirmed they are not going to do this. It would take forever. But what makes this so funny is that his response is, I don't get why time matters when they already had to delay, not gonna lie. Like, this dude wants the game to come out like 2027. This is kind of like when you see a comment that says, man, I wish the game came out already, I can't wait. And then the reply is just, you can't rush perfection. Like, yeah, everyone knows, we just want to play the game. Everyone's just saying they want to play the game, chill out. Except this is sort of like the you can't rush perfection line, but like on crack, you know, like the extreme version of it. And this suggestion, we have a grapple hook. I love grapple hooks. Add it, please add it. Oh, and here's a list of more obscure or rare fruit they should add. We have the squirrel fruit, the smile fruit, which are like the failed devil fruit, the bat fruit, model vampire. This one would be cool. The door fruit, and the age fruit. Actually, these are pretty good picks. The age fruit specifically, I think would be really fun to troll with. I can already see challenges like beating RELL C's as like a 10-year-old. And they actually have an interesting outline here where you can basically make save slots for 3 different stages of age, and then you can swap between them using the devil fruit. I'd say he definitely cooked here. Next up is houses. A lot of people don't like this idea because they say your ship already does that, but your ship can sink and you have to make it for combat. Like, imagine having a house where you can just customize it and you don't have to worry about defense. You don't have to worry about giving it good stats. You know what I mean? Like, I think a house is completely different than your ship. That's it. I'm going to go on the record and say I am a house defender. From home invasion specifically. Actually, this is one of the more interesting suggestions because I've seen other people say stuff like this, like maybe have a base or an island, and some people really don't want us to be able to do that, and I'm kind of wondering why. Some people think it's just a waste of development time, but I mean, they could just add it in a future update if you let them cook, you know. Comment below because I'd love to hear more people's opinions on this idea specifically. And here we have another one, Ada's ideas. These are pretty interesting because it's kind of like, you know, coming up with a dungeon idea, and for this one they even designed like a boss and what the minions would look like, or I guess the NPCs you'd be fighting. These are pretty cool. I think I preferred if like the final boss was like an Anubis character and maybe the minions would be like rock people and then mummies. I feel like you guys should come up with more of these like dungeon ideas. I feel like it'd be really cool to make a whole video just covering different dungeons you guys have come up with. You know, like some, like maybe there's a volcano or maybe there's like a jungle one. Could be really fun. I don't know. And this final idea is add racism. This is mostly just for the thumbnail, but you know what you did. And that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed some of these delicious times we definitely had. I'm 100%. Like, if you didn't enjoy, then you have bad taste. I don't know. Oh, you guys want to know something funny? So I was going through the comments to find, you know, the parts for the intro. And I saw this comment chain where someone's like, the JJK game looks like ass. And the developer was like, you know, what's wrong? And he just goes, I just like hating on random people. And that really made me laugh. Man, at least he's honest, I guess, you know. That kind of explains, I feel like a lot of people kind of are like that, where they'll just be haters for no reason, but it's like, you know, I don't know, you can't really let that thing bother you. There were a couple comments on my JJK vid that were just like, you're not very smart, are you? Or you seem pretty dumb. And I'm like, well, at least explain what parts seem dumb, you know? Like, it's just really funny. And then you get comments that are like, oh, you're glazing for no reason. Like Roblox YouTubers when they glaze a game that looks mid. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, I got views, didn't I? And that's really all we're trying to do as YouTubers is get views. And some people enjoy it, so, I mean, who cares? Anyways, see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, if you got this far, don't forget to subscribe.